She is an animal lover. You spent years of your life volunteering your time, working at animal shelters.
Yes.
When we go for a walk at my house, and by the way, this is my wife, Kelly. She won't admit it. But she looked at me this morning. First thing she goes, "Who picked out your clothes? Does this not match?" It was close enough. When we go for a walk, there's 5 dogs. And our dogs are very rambunctious. They tend to pull. And we've got one that has a habit of being Houdini that seems to be able to work its way out of a lead. So we're going to cover the Houdini dog, the dog that pulls, and we're going to talk about a more humane, more loving way to walk your dog.
Yes.
I love your invention.
Dan, this is really the ultimate dog walking tool.
Yeah.
Because there is no other dog leash on the market that does everything that this does, and that it's all in one piece.
And these are handmade. Lovingly handcrafted.
Oh yes, beautifully handcrafted. Yes, very high quality. So the first and most important thing that harness lead does is it keeps the dog from getting loose on you on the walk.
Yep.
This is the very most important thing that it does, because every day on social media and in the news sometimes you hear about dogs that have backed out of their harness or their collar.
Well, I want you to meet Houdini, the black and white dog here.
And if they do that, sometimes they're on the run for weeks at a time.
Which makes us
and
as moms
sometimes
and dads
they're
feel
never
terrible.
and sometimes they're never recovered.
Yep.
So it is very, very, very important to keep your dog secure. So this particular leash, when the dog begins to back out, it's going to tighten around the barrel of the dog, keeping the dog secure. I have rescue groups around the world using harness leads specifically for this reason. And as a matter of fact, we have one rescue group that actually is rescuing dogs from Europe. Okay, they bring the dogs through JFK Airport. And let me tell you, their biggest fear is losing a dog. They use harness lead specifically because this keeps the dog secure. And they're just one of the many, many, many rescue groups that use this leash specifically for the security aspect.
And reading the reviews has been wonderful. If you've got a dog who takes you for a walk instead of you walking the dog.
Yeah, the pulling.
There is nothing like that.
Yeah,
this is Suede. Suede's the puller. This is Raven. She's the Houdini dog. We don't use regular leads anymore. It doesn't matter whether you've got a big dog or whether you've got a medium-sized dog. Now, little dogs, this lead isn't designed for.
No, over 14 pounds. You can see the dog that was on the left there was 17 pounds. Now, this is Brody. Brody was a terrible puller. Okay, Charlie. Look at Charlie pulling on a regular collar.
That's Lisa being taken for a walk.
Now, look at Charlie on harness lead.
And
it's
you didn't
like a
change
night and
anything
day
other than the
difference.
lead.
Absolutely
That's it.
not. This was right after the other. That's my 4 dogs walking with one hand on harness lead.
Now,
so it helps to reduce pulling by tightening around the barrel of the dog, and it utilizes a dog's own pressure against the leash to encourage and remind him to slow his pace. So for pulling and escaping, there's nothing like harness lead out there.
A couple other things. I think it's a more humane lead. It doesn't go around the throat. It goes around the barrel. We've got black. We've got a really beautiful red and purple, which you make just for us. We've got a purple and lime green. And then this is the orange, and there's little flecks of silver in it that are reflective.
Yes, that's a reflective, not glow in the dark, but reflective.
Yep, so headlights, etc., bounce off it. This rubber stopper is part of the secret. And let's show how you actually put one on a dog.
Yeah, so it's very, very, very simple to put on the dog.
And you do it once or twice and it becomes second nature.
The first thing that you do, you're going to put it over the dog's head. The way you size it for your particular dog is you take these stops and you move them so that they're in line with the back of the front leg. If you do that, it will fit any dog's body perfectly. Then you just take the leash, you go underneath the body, you bring the handle
and there's
up
a little
through
buttonhole in the top.
And bring the stop up through and then lower down.
That's it.
Now, when the dog pulls, it's going to tighten around the barrel. So much of the time, the disc may be up in the air. This is to act as a floater. Okay, so this is to prevent over loosening. So you can just let the disc rise and fall as it's needed. And that is the way that it's going to reduce the pulling too. It's going to tighten around the barrel only. There's no tightening around the neck area. So you can see that the neck area stays stationary. And if you have these stops set, again, it'll fit any dog's body perfectly.
Now, again, all of our dogs are well behaved. Kelly's a professional trainer, but Raven is very rambunctious, and she used to be able to back out of a regular leash.
Yes.
And that's, for a mom or a dad, that is a scary feeling because now your dog is on the loose.
Yes,
a dog
that is
cannot back out of this. When they
No.
pull backwards, it tightens across their chest, their barrel, not their throat.
Yes,
and it keeps them secure.
When they attempt to back out, it tightens around the dog, keeping the dog secure and in your control, with you where the dog is supposed to be.
Yeah. If you walk multiple dogs, by the way, this dog is the coolest cucumber. Aren't you waving?
Yeah, she's a good girl.
We're walking 5 at a time. You have walked thousands of dogs.
Yeah. There's nothing like this. This is an all-in-one leash and harness that is going to reduce pulling, fit all the different unusual body types, prevent escaping, which is absolutely imperative to keep your dog with you. And it's just soft. It's very, very soft. You think of rope, you think rough. No, this is very soft, flexible, and very silky. So it's very comfortable on the dog.
How do you make them? I mean, you make these by
These are all hand spliced. Yes.
Okay.
And they're beautifully done, and splicing is the way that you make boat line. So this is the strongest way to finish off rope. This is spliced here and here.
There's no way we could wear one out.
No, no. These last for a very, very long time.
Lisa,
yes.
to have
very
you,
good quality.
To have you as the inventor on the air, for you to share your passion, this is about making our four-legged family members safer, helping us to alleviate our own fears of dogs escaping, and being much more humane. I want to say personally, thank you.
Thank you
for our
so
audience
much.
who loves their pets.
Thank you so much.
They appreciate it. Sweetie, Kelly, thank you for coming in as well.
Thank you, Kelly.
It's always good to see
Suede
you.
And Raven.
Suede and
Good
Raven.
job.
I love you guys. You want to hang out for the morning show? Huh? By the way, you have to hang around because you're the designated driver. We have Michael O'Leary and his wine coming up in